I hate Valentine's Day. Hate is a strong word. I hate Valentine's Day. So what am I doing revamping velvet dresses for Valentine's Day? I'm not. I've had these velvet dresses for a while and I've wanted to revamp them. I just haven't been able to, but now I'm able to, and that just happens to coincide with Valentine's Day. Also, I ardently appreciate alliteration. So sorry about that slight clickbait there, but it's really not clickbait because I could wear one of these dresses for Valentine's Day. I won't because I don't celebrate, but I could. So it's technically not clickbait. Why do I hate Valentine's Day? Let me explain. That'll take too long. Let me sum it up. But later. Right now, let's look at the dresses. But before we look at the dresses, I have to do something very important.
Wow!
All right, now that we've got that important business out of the way, let's look at the dresses. Here they are. They're both identical except for the color. So I'm going to start with this one. Let's pop this onto Edith and see what it looks like. Really pretty as is. But I want to make just a few changes to make it more my style, whatever that is. It's still unclear, but I'm finding it. What I'm envisioning is to bring this in just a little bit tighter, and then I'm thinking that this, I would like it to be a little bit more gathered right there. Yes, something like that. And then we're going to make the skirt a bit more fitted. And then with the tie, my hope is that I can take that to add a little ruffle at the bottom. But we'll see if that even works. I'm not sure. That's the basic idea I have in here right now. What I'm going to do is actually just completely take this apart. Just take all the pieces apart and make them all their own individual pieces so they can be reborn. Let's do it. So we have all our pieces, everything's taken apart, the skirt pieces, the tie, the sleeves. I did not take this fully apart though, because I'm just going to take in the sides and take the sleeves up, so I didn't need to take that apart. That's what I'm going to start with. So far I've basted the shoulders and the side seams. Just took them up with a basting stitch just to see how it looks. And the idea is just to kind of pull this together like so. I'm not sure this is going to work. I might not have enough fabric to work with. My plan is to just baste everything together, get an idea of how it looks and how it fits before committing to a small zigzag stitch. I was having my doubts. I wasn't sure if it was going to work. I'm feeling much better about it now. This is pretty close to what I was envisioning. It just does seem a little bit like crowded up here though. Maybe I should make it a little more, I think that would be pretty actually, if I kind of made it a little more rounded. But for the most part, this is it. I just have to finish the seams now and actually cut the fabric. I haven't cut into the fabric yet because I wanted to make sure that it was going to turn out before I committed to cutting. It is time to commit to cutting and doing a zigzag stitch. But before I do that, I do have to take this all apart. Then I'm going to make the adjustments on both of the dresses at the same time. Doing the fittings is not good for the hair. Oh well. I was really excited to see these dresses in the thrift store because velvet, stretchy, and the colors. These are some of my favorite colors to look at and to wear. I was also really glad to find these dresses that had tags on them. They had never been worn, still had tags. Lately, I've been looking for, at the thrift store, anything made of cloth, really. I try to look for brand new with tags or brand new in package. And I kind of hate that, but that's just the way it is having to go right now. I'm very sensitive to detergents and perfumes, scented things. And it's just, it's always a problem. But generally speaking, I can wash the item. After a few washes, it doesn't smell anymore. But lately, it's been really bad. And I think someone is just going to town with that fabric spray because, wow, the clothing and the linens right now, they reek. So when they're brand new, usually they haven't been sprayed. So that makes me excited to not have to deal with that. Because even if I can get a good deal on something, if it's been sprayed, I have to work really, really, really hard to get the smell out. Like this lovely piece. Gorgeous. It reeks. Didn't smell bad when I got it. I washed it and then the smell just kind of was released. And I have already worked on it quite a bit. So now we're bringing out the big guns. It's getting serious. I'm gonna fill this bathtub with water, pour in the vinegar, and hopefully that will get the smell out because I really, really want to use this on my bed, but I can't. Even just being in the room with it, my nose is starting to run. My throat is getting sore and a headache has begun. So that made me very sad. And I will be very sad if I cannot get the smell out of this. I know a lot of people would say it smells so good. It smells so floral. It hurts. I sound so dramatic, but that's just how it is. Okay, let's do it. Back to taking this apart and adjusting the pieces for both dresses. But that smell kind of made it difficult to breathe, so I'm going to take a break from talking and hand it over to voiceover Duck. So why do I hate Valentine's Day? This is a subject I could go on about for a good deal of time, but I did promise a summary, so I will keep it short. And to assist me in that, I will once again utilize some alliteration. Environment, ethics, expectations. Even if I disregard the first two reasons, Valentine's Day still produces a sour taste on my tongue and the sensation of a bezoar in my gut, due to the expectations this culture pushes people to meet on this particular day. I used to work in the restaurant industry, and I got to see the belly of the beast, if you will. Valentine's Day was the worst day of the year, and working either a double or a mid-shift was mandatory. I was able to experience what happens when people are trying to meet expectations when their heart is not at all in it. I experienced it on repeat, couple after couple, all shift long, year after year, and it made me sad. I have nothing against celebrating the love you have for another person, but when it has to be on a specific day and celebrated in a specific way because that's how everyone else is doing it, then I have to ask, is it really love? And if February 14th is the only day a person is kind to their partner, but the rest of the year they treat them like poo, is it really love? Personally, I would rather someone let me know that they cared about me on a random Tuesday than on Valentine's Day, or my birthday for that matter. Because then I feel more confident that it's not an obligatory act, it's for real. There are far too many pressures on humans as it is. Why add more? That said, I hope you can celebrate your love and appreciation for your person in the way that speaks to both of you, whether you do it on a random Tuesday or on the made-up holiday of Valentine's Day. But these are just my opinions. Back to the dresses. So here's where we are. I'm at this point with both dresses, and I really do like how they're turning out. I'm at the point where I can reattach the sleeves, which I will reattach just like they were before, but the armhole's a little smaller, so it will gather up a little bit more, which is great. And then at the bottom, I'm going to add a little cuff, basically, so I can gather this up into it. And for the cuff, I'm going to use a piece of the fabric that I cut off of the side back. So it's got a nice ease going right along here, which is going to be excellent. Since I didn't have much width to work with, there's a tongue twister for you. For each cuff, I cut out 2 strips instead of 1, but stitched them together along the length, making each cuff a little wider. Then I joined them together at the ends and folded the band in half, resulting in a humble little cuff. I'm having some issues attaching the cuff. Any way I attach it, I don't like. It may be because I've been staring at it for a while. One of the best things you can do to gain a new perspective is to take a step back. Another thing you can do is take a break. I'm going to take both, and I will return. I took a little break and tried something different on the sleeves, and I think I like it. I'm okay with how they turned out. I'm not incredibly pleased with them. I might need to workshop it a bit more, but for now I'm going to leave it just like this. I hand basted this in so I can easily remove it if I want to make some changes. So now I just have to do that to the blue. So I've got to hand stitch both of these cuffs in, and it does take quite a while, so I'd better get cracking. I would like to mention that my thoughts on Valentine's Day, those are my own personal thoughts, and I never want to put that on someone else. I realize I have a particular perspective that has been formulated over time through my experiences, and that's a very personal journey, and I never want to diminish someone's joy. I think that's one of the cruelest things you can do, is try to rob people of their joy. And so if you enjoy Valentine's Day, I think that's great, and I hope that you are able to celebrate it in a way that speaks to you. I hope you are able to enjoy the day, because joy is in short supply in this world, so I never want to steal someone else's. This is how I feel about Valentine's Day. I'm not asking anyone to feel the same way, but I am super grateful to not be working in the restaurant this Valentine's Day. I really thought I would be, because that was my most recent job, but they said goodbye, and I said, okay. It's not what they said, that's what they meant. So I am once again job hunting. I feel like I'm always job hunting. I sometimes wonder if I hold the record for the amount of times a person has been quiet fired within a year. Actually, in my case, it was within 8 months. 3 times. What can I say? I'm a difficult person to work with. Still very grateful to not be working in the restaurant this Valentine's Day. Once again, if you do celebrate Valentine's Day, I hope that you are able to enjoy it. I hope that you're able to celebrate it in a way that is meaningful to you and your loved ones. But if you do go out to eat, please be kind to your server.
The last thing to do was attach the ruffles. The tie, or sash, was mind-bogglingly 1.5 times the circumference of the skirt. I mean, what are the odds? I took the tie, folded it in half lengthwise, and joined the ends to make a circle. I finished one of the edges with a straight stitch because no need for a zigzag stitch, as no stretching would occur at that point. On the other side, I ran a long stitch that I later tugged on until it fit nicely into the bottom edge of the skirt. Then I did all the same steps for the blue.
And finished. Time to try these on.